Hey now everyone, it's Steve Severs for Bionic Buzz. We're here at the world famous San Diego Comic Con. It feels so good to be back. Now before we get started, we appreciate your support. Please hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and follow us on all social media. Now let's go see who we can talk to. Adventure Time! Awesome. Let's talk about that first. What was it fun working on that?
Oh my god, it was an amazing experience. Should I hold this or?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's talk about Adventure Time.
Yeah, I love working on it. I work closely with Adam Muto, and he shares kind of like what he wants to do for a particular episode, and we kind of just go crazy with the music. There's a lot of different kind of sonic ideas and identities in this new series, Fiona and Cake, and so I'm excited for people to see it.
Very cool. All right, so I want to know where your journey for being a composer came from, because here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. Where did your passion for music kind of come from? Certain live performance, an album, or something that was just natural for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a mixture of those things. It was kind of natural. I started playing when I was really young, piano when I was 3, but always been really passionate about music, soul music. I think Temptations made me fall in love with guitar specifically. So I'm a guitarist, but I play a lot of different instruments. And yeah, I started off doing performance music, and then like playing in bands, playing in other people's bands, and went to college, studied music composition. A couple years later, I'll just truncate it.
Yeah.
Took some classes at Vassar, Berklee College of Music, and then kind of fell into film scoring. Worked with Hans Zimmer, Henry Jackman, then I got hired at John Powell Studio, and then it was like just fun from there.
Have you ever performed live with Hans? Yeah.
Oh no! I
Maybe
haven't.
one day, huh?
Maybe one day, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it's been an amazing journey.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Keep up the amazing work. Thank you for taking your time to talk to
Thank
me.
you, thank you so much.
Well, it was very unique at the time coming up. There weren't a lot of family driven black animation out there, and it was I really appreciated an opportunity to just tell these stories in a different and more authentic way. And they were, if you look back at some of those older shows, they were pushing the envelope then, and as they are now, you know. And the Proud Family tries to get under your skin and show you things from a different perspective, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. And so you're working on something from Blumhouse right now, too, right?
Yeah, it's called Absolute Dominion. It's directed by Alexi Alexander. This is a fabulous film. I'm in my last week of production on it, and I couldn't be happier. It's been a chance for me to use instrumentation that I've never used before with musicians I've never worked with before, and doing things in just a quite different way. And I can't wait for people to see this. This is really an authentic and different take on the subject matter.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it. Keep up the amazing work.
Thank you so much.
Love the show.
Thank
It's
you.
great that Gremlins is back in animation form and you compose for it. Talk about working.
It's awesome. It's kind of what I consider one of my like sort of dream jobs, and I didn't even realize it was. And I think it's everything from the creative leeway that I've been given. In fact, like just a calling, like, hey, you should really lean into all the emotion of this, and we're going to use orchestra, and it's going to be, you know, we're going to stay out of your way and let you do you. And I say that in a respectful way because again, it was great writing, great show running, great acting. You know, everything is really, really terrific. So it kind of makes my job really easy. I think, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I want to know where your passion for music kind of came from. Was there an album you heard, or certain live performance, or something that was just natural for you as a child?
I heard a score by Michael Kamen for his film Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which I know with Kevin Costner. I know. But you know, and I'd grown up with a lot of music. I'm a classically trained pianist, so like it's not like I hadn't heard music before or heard even music scores before. But honestly, it was like that was the first one that I was like, what is this magic? To me, it was a whole different level of storytelling that I knew I just wanted to be a part of this, and I wanted to get into this. And I was about 12 or 13 at the time, so I think I just continued on my way, and I eventually studied composition and theory, and then did graduate work in specifically film and television composing. But that was the one that changed it.
That's really cool. That's why I love asking that question. So, that'd be great. Awesome. Well, keep up the amazing work.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, my friends. So talk about working on Netflix Wednesday.
Talk about working on where does one start?
I mean that was so good.
Yeah, it's really gratifying to work on something that was really good and very popular, and also music heavy. And so, like, usually if you find one out of those three, thinking, hey, I'm in a pretty good spot right now. But getting to do something that really connected in that way, and with people like Tim Burton and Jenna Ortega, who is, without her, there is no Wednesday.
Oh, absolutely.
And so being a part of something that really seemed to connect with people is really gratifying.
Well, it must have been a lot of pressure. I mean, think about Tim Burton, Danny Elfman, and all that stuff, and you're following that footsteps. But you nailed it, man. You know?
Oh, well, thank you. And, a lot of times there's not time to feel pressure.
Yeah.
You just get in and what is the story, and what am I trying to support here? What are we trying to what's the story we're trying to tell? And I think there's probably going to be more pressure for season 2. Because now it's this thing that's become this behemoth, and now there may be a little more pressure with that, but at the same time it's going to be the same thing. You get in, you just do the job, and if the pressure is involved, it's distracting from the process of writing the music. So you just got to tune that out and get into what the job is.
What did you think of the internet phenomenon of her dance scene? That kind of blew up all of social media.
There are a lot of thoughts on it. First of all, again, amazing that something that we did connected. I say we. I had nothing to do with that scene, right? Yeah.
I forget who the band was.
Yeah, well, they had the Cramps. It was with the song that she danced to in the show, and then it took on a whole new life with Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those cultural moments that it's not really possible to create. It just sort of happens, and this just connected and happened in a way that felt organic and that people loved and kind of spiraled.
All right. Well, fingers crossed for season 2. Thank you so much for taking your time to talk to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, I loved your work on Star Trek Picard. What was it like working on that amazing series?
It was a dream come true. Not only as a Star Trek fan, but as just someone who's a fan of that style of music. A lot of times film scores these days don't want that sort of big, huge orchestral classic sound, so it was fun to actually be able to record full orchestra in LA and kind of get it into the sound of music that I grew up loving in the 90s.
Yeah, so I was a big fan of Star Trek Generations. Did you ever get to meet the cast of Picard anytime? Any functions, media stuff, or anything like that?
I haven't yet. I know that a couple of them wanted to come to some scoring sessions, but we recorded between March and July of last year, and there were still some pretty strict COVID regulations on all the slots, so they didn't allow any guests, unfortunately. But would have been fun. Maybe in the future, we'll see.
So you did Diablo 4. Is it different doing video games and movie? But sometimes these video games are just basically you in a movie, it feels like,
Yeah, and for me, I'm working on individual pieces of music the same way I would on a film or TV show. Just, they're going to use them differently in the game because it's going to be triggered, and they're going to, use my stems sometimes, which are separation of different elements to trigger different vibes or levels of intensity and things like that. But sonically, they pretty much want it to sound like film and TV now. They want it to sound like big, epic, cinematic music. Though Diablo in particular, that was a very dark, gritty, kind of mangly, it's a very dark game, so they wanted it to be a very dark sound, as opposed to Picard is like a hi-fi project. That's just like make everything sound big and expensive and amazing. Diablo is just mess things up and just make it gritty and grungy.
Showing your range. Well, keep up the amazing work, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Love the Blind Spotting series on Stars. Talk about working on that.
Where do you want me to look first of all?
Yeah, look at me.
All right, good. That's been an amazing couple of years. 2 seasons of that, working with my friend Ambrose Akinmusiri, and we just we had a ball. There's not many shows where you get to do comedy, drama, dance, choreography, songs.
So I love the show. It's got everything.
It's really got everything. It's a challenge. It keeps you on your toes, especially when you have to kind of pivot hard from from an urban drama into, say, a western. But that's the kind of show it is. So.
All right. Well, here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. I want to know where your passion for music kind of came from related on this journey. Was a certain score you heard from a movie or TV, a certain live performance, or something that was just natural for you as a child?
Well, it was always John Williams. It was always Star Wars. I remember walking out of a screening, I think it must have been a rerun of Star Wars in the cinemas with my dad, and he was like, "Did you like the music?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was amazing." He said, "Well, you could do that one day." I think I was 7.
Oh, wow.
And he's like a mathematician, so he's like, and I had just started music.
Calculated it.
He was like, he worked it out, and then I kind of put it out of my mind for years, but basically I ended up at film school and started loving film scores again, and that idea just popped back into my head. I don't know.
Well, keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to me.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.